WCBI News at 6 starts now.
This weekend, much of the central U.S. is bracing for heavy rain, strong winds, hail, and possibly tornadoes. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock.
And I'm Riley Livingston. From Texas to southern Minnesota, millions are under that threat of severe weather. Melissa Rainey has a closer look at the growing concerns.
Good night. Look at that.
Tornadoes, golf ball-sized hail, and damaging winds. A severe weather system is making its way across the eastern two-thirds of the country, creating a significant threat for at least 70 million people along the storm's damaging path.
The semi just ran smack right into that tornado, and there's a lot of people trying to help him out right now.
It's peak tornado season, and since Friday morning, parts of the U.S. have already reported 34 tornadoes. In Oklahoma, a tornado there destroyed 2 homes. In Texas, another twister caused widespread damage.
We got a lot of water. It took part of the roof off, and there's damage in the backyard.
For much of the day on Saturday, several parts of Texas and Oklahoma were under a tornado watch. The National Weather Service says too much rain too quickly is raising flooding concerns in already heavily saturated areas. And the threat is not over after this weekend. Round 2 is around the corner. The National Weather Service says yet another potential significant storm is highly likely across the plains early next week. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
It's now time to turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Rowley for a first look at our forecast. Jacob, is any of that weather heading towards us?
Hey Riley, we could have a few stronger storms tomorrow, and today though not really anything to worry about. We do have this one rain shower here in downtown Louisville, Mississippi, but other than that we've been really sunny across the entire area today. You can see that on the rest of our sky cams across the region right now. Here's that one lone shower here in Winston County. It is not severe at the time. It is producing some locally heavy downpours there. You can see in those areas of red. As we go throughout the rest of the night tonight, we could see some more storms move in our way, especially across the western portions of our area. Those will move in later as we go overnight tonight. Those winds are going to remain gusty there out of the southeast there, gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. Coming up a little later in the show, I'll let you know just when those storms arrive as we go into your Sunday, Riley.
Thanks, Jacob. An unusual thief in Greenville County, South Carolina. Police say he dug a network of tunnels and used them to conceal more than $200,000 in stolen items. Brooklyn Cromer has a story.
My family is kind of shocked by all this. We knew it was bad, but not as bad as all this has gone out.
Greenville County deputies say a tip led them to Looperville Road earlier this week. What followed, a 2-day search of Timothy Painter's Piedmont property. And what they found shocked even the most seasoned deputies.
We didn't expect to see a tunnel system this intricate.
Deputies unearthed an underground tunnel system hidden in plain sight, concealing thousands of dollars worth of stolen property. Painter's sister says she had no idea he was capable of something like this.
He's not always been this person. He has worked his butt off for what he's owned. I mean, drugs completely take a toll in your life and make you a completely different person.
Investigators say Painter used stolen construction equipment to dig the tunnels and build the intricate system beneath his 4-acre property.
They eventually led to a dead end, roughly 15 feet underground, very sophisticated to see, not something very common that we'll see on a residential property.
Deputies found lawnmowers, construction equipment, tools, and cars hidden inside the tunnels.
There was just a wide array of property that valued in excess of $200,000.
Painter is charged with grand larceny and 8 counts of possessing stolen goods. His sister says she feels bad for the victims and apologizes for her brother's actions.
I apologize to the victims, the ones we know and the ones we don't know. I think once he sits in there for a while, I personally believe, and so does my father, believe he needs to sit in there, clean up. Maybe when he's got a clear state of mind, he will be able to apologize. But as far as myself and my family, I know we are very sorry.
Members of the Columbus community came together at the Trotter Center today for a good cause. They called it the Big Payback, a fundraising event for local restaurant Zachary's, which recently lost everything in an electrical fire that started in the kitchen. The event featured a live auction as well as a silent auction, food, and a live band.
And it's called the Big Payback because really what it's doing is it's paying back all of the staff members who have voluntarily put in their time over the past few years to work all the fundraisers that have made Zachary so famous.
Well, event organizers say that some of the music and sports memorabilia featured in the auction have special meaning because they're actually from the restaurant and have fire damage.
The Libertarian Party of Clay County, an affiliate of the State Libertarian Party, hosted a forum for the county supervisors candidates.
That's right, and those within the Libertarian Party say their main goal is to encourage civic engagement and also provide citizens with a little background on their own party. It's all about having a choice. That's why the Clay County Libertarian Party sponsored a candidate forum Saturday with the hopes of educating the public on their political point of view.
The Libertarian Party is basically the party of small government.
The way I look at it is a really strict adherence to the Constitution and the freedom ideals that founded this country.
Dathan Lambeth has been a member of the Libertarian Party since 1996. He says it's important to have a third option.
You have a choice besides the two major parties, and that there are other voices. If you want to help be a part of that voice, we'd love to have you. And also, it's a big tent. It's really about freedom.
Some people say the Libertarian Party are a mix of both Republican and Democratic ideologies.
There's a lot of people out there who will say, well, fiscally I'm a conservative, socially I'm a Democrat, or vice versa. But when they go to the polls, a lot of them feel like they don't have a choice. The Libertarian Party is that alternative, but people are too scared to vote Libertarian because they feel like they're throwing their vote away.
According to party member Lazarus Austin, the Libertarians and Republicans agree on things from an economic standpoint.
Little to no taxes, small military, non-interference in people's lives and other countries, and that's pretty much it.
But he says the party leans more towards Democratic viewpoints when it comes to social issues.
They're all about choice and allowing people to be who they are and not regulating or interfering with how people are.
With the majority of the state voting either Democratic or Republican, those in the Libertarian Party hope to give a voice for the people in the middle.
Because there are a lot of people that with unique or different views that just don't participate because they don't feel like there are people who empathize with them, who agree with them, or like them.
The hope is by activating the principles of freedom, we can get back to a country that we're proud of and would, fight to defend.
The forum featured food, games, live music, and door prizes.
Family Freedom Day at the Mission took place today in West Point. The event was held in the parking lot of the old Bryan plant on East Churchill Road. It featured dozens of local vendors selling food, crafts, and other items. The event was put on to honor all area veterans and raise money for those in need.
We're down here today helping Brother Dickie Bryan with this celebration of the veterans and trying to raise money while we're here for his missions today. He does a great work here. He works with folks that's either had problems in life or they're out of just getting out of jail and need a second chance. They're trying to get housing facilities set up down here so that when they come back into the public, they'll have a place to stay and they find them jobs and everything.
Hellfighters Ministries was also a main sponsor at today's event.
That's right, Family Freedom Day also featured Hellfighters Ministries' second annual Freedom Ride. Motorcyclists from all over the state came together to ride through over 50 miles of Clay County. Each rider made a donation to the mission as an entry fee for the event.
Well, first of all, it's to get a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts together and to have a ride through country that they're not really familiar with, and to share with the folks that come to the celebration here, the Family Fun Day here.
May 18th is also National Armed Forces Day. Parents in Florida are upset after a teacher allegedly verbally abused special needs students. We'll have more on that coming up next.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 p.m. with Riley Livingston and Cash Matlock.
Broward County Public Schools in Florida is apologizing for a robocall that was sent to every parent in the district. The robocall stated 2 employees heard in a recording verbally abusing students were reassigned away from students.
But the call was only meant for a few parents. Todd Tongan has the story.
This is Superintendent Bob Runcie.
If you have a child that goes to school in Broward County, you accidentally got a confusing robocall from the superintendent about a serious incident at school.
I was shaking. I couldn't believe that this was really happening to my son.
Matt and Miriam Adar are painfully aware of the incident because it involves their son Ezra and other special needs students at Pasadena Lakes Elementary.
What is a parent supposed to do if they have a suspicion that something is going on at school?
Frustrated they couldn't get answers as to why Ezra was cursing and being aggressive, they used a product called Angel Sense that allowed them to listen in on Ezra's interactions, and what they heard was appalling. Ezra's teacher and the teacher's aide are heard viciously, verbally abusing their special needs students. In one voice clip, a girl sounds as if she's being physically abused. The district says in the robocall that the two employees involved have been reassigned away from students while they investigate. But then they call back to say,
please disregard. We apologize for any inconvenience.
See what that school did. See what those teachers did, and see what they hid for so long. You hear them treating these kids the way they're treating, and they're not fired.
Showers and storms will be possible for your Sunday, but after that, we do begin to dry out rather quickly, and those temperatures are going to go up as well. Coming up after the break, I'll let you know just how warm they're going to get. Stick with us.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
Well, good Saturday evening. It's been a really dry day across most of the area. We have one lone shower right now, and you can see it's raining pretty heavy here in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. Nothing severe, just a brief downpour there. You can see on our map, that's all we're dealing with right now here in Winston, Choctaw counties. That's going to continue to pull on off to the north there around 25 miles an hour. As we do move later on into the overnight hours tonight, though, we will begin to see some more of those showers work their way into our area. Temperatures right now pretty warm. We're sitting in the middle to upper 80s across much of the region. There in Louisville, where that rain's falling right now, a little bit cooler at 81 degrees. Average high this time of year is right at 84 in Columbus, so we're right around average for now. As we go into tonight, we will remain pretty mild, dropping down into the lower 70s, upper 60s out there. We could see a scattered shower or two, especially across our western counties. That's where our rain chances are going to be greatest overnight tonight. Another thing tonight are these winds. Looky here, gusts upwards to 25 miles an hour as we go on into Sunday morning. So it's going to be pretty breezy out there. As we look back out to our west, though, across portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana, we have a line of stronger to severe showers and storms. As we head on into your Sunday, this is the system that's going to continue to pull our way, and that's going to bring us the chance of a couple of strong to severe storms. Areas in green here, you are in a level 1 marginal risk for severe weather as we go throughout your Sunday. We're really concerned with the damaging wind threat and the health threat as well. Not expecting a big outbreak, but all the areas in green here, you could see 1 or 2 stronger storms producing some gustier winds. And the main time frame for that's going to be throughout the afternoon and evening hours for your Sunday. So we're going to go ahead and kind of time those storms out for you. As we head into the early morning hours here on Sunday, you can see right around 9 a.m., maybe some scattered showers or storms across the region. We're not expecting any of that to be severe. As we go a little later in the day, that's when the sun's going to come out, heat things up a little bit, give some more fuel for these storms, and that's when you can see some more of those brighter reds. That shows some more intense storms that could bring us those damaging winds or some smaller hail that we're going to be concerned with as we go throughout your Sunday evening. That will all pull on out of our region. You can see here as we go into Sunday night, leaving us with some clouds. Temperatures should remain a little bit mild there in the upper 60s and lower 70s once again. So for your Sunday, we're going to top out here a little cooler in the lower 80s across the region, maybe a few upper 70s where we do get those heavier downpours with those showers and storms. Once this system begins to pull on out of our region for Sunday, could linger behind just a little bit for Monday, bringing us some isolated showers and storms. Not expecting anything severe out of that. As we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, though, that begins to clear out as a high pressure system begins to build its way on into our area, and it's going to be bringing the heat with it as well over the next 6 to 10 days. The Climate Prediction Center is showing us being well above average in terms of temperatures, and you're going to notice that in your 7-day forecast as well. Those temperatures are climbing all the way up into the lower 90s as we get into Wednesday of next week.
Mississippi State trying to win the West this afternoon. Highlights and a live report from Starkville are next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Coming into Saturday's game here inside the new dude, Mississippi State needed a lot of help to have a chance at the SEC West Championship. Well, they got the help they needed. Arkansas losing to Texas A&M to lose that series, so the Bulldogs in basically a must-win game if they wanted to win the SEC West, taking on South Carolina. They already won the series yesterday, but the series finale here inside the New Zoos earlier today, Mississippi State taking on South Carolina, looking to bring up the brooms earlier today. The Bulldogs would be down 1-0 early on, but it wouldn't be too long before Mississippi State tied that ball game up. It'd be Justin Foscue to take one to left field, an absolute moonshot. If you were in the left field lofts, you almost had to keep on your lookout because it was coming straight for you. Solo bomb, able to tie the ball game up. But for the first half of the ball game, really through 6 innings, that was all Mississippi State could get going offensively. The Gamecocks would be able to take advantage in the 5th. It'd be a base hit from George Khalil to give Carolina to lead. TJ Hopkins would follow that up with a base hit of his own. A 3-run 5th inning for South Carolina. Andrew Eister adding 2 home runs as well. Carolina led as much as 10-3. Mississippi State put on a furious rally in the final 2 innings, but would ultimately fall 10-8 in the series finale. It'd be a tie for the SEC West, with Arkansas winning in the tiebreaker. Chris Lemonis saying after the game that his dugout really wasn't paying attention to what was going on in the standings.
I heard it about the 7th inning, so we were already down pretty big by that point. But I said it last night, I don't get too much into that. It's about us playing good baseball, and we just, like I said, we weren't great today. We played really good baseball lately, and we were just okay today.
I feel like we should have won that game. We got it going late, but sometimes, like I said, it's not meant to be. And I feel like the mood in the locker room, it's nothing bad. I mean, we're still confident, and we'll have a big week next week.
So with the loss, the Bulldogs will be the 4 seed in Hoover for the SEC tournament coming up. They'll face off against the winner of LSU or South Carolina again on Wednesday. Ole Miss wins game 3 of its series, staving off the sweep, snapping a 6-game losing streak. The Rebels winning 5-4 over Tennessee. Ole Miss will take on Missouri in Hoover for the first round of the SEC tournament on Tuesday. Ole Miss softball losing game 2 of its NCAA tournament regional to Louisiana 2-0. Game 3 going on right now for Ole Miss. A win for them would push them into the winner's bracket on Sunday. At last check, they were defeating Southeast Missouri 8-0. So it's likely setting up what we all thought was going to happen is going to be Louisiana versus Ole Miss for the regional final. Mississippi State softball on the road taking on Washington. At last check, the Huskies were up 5-1 on Mississippi State. The Bulldogs would play again at 10 o'clock tonight Central Time. If they're unable to beat Washington, the Huskies obviously advancing to the winner's bracket. Moving on to the 2A Baseball State Championship. Calhoun City taking on Taylorsville in a winner-takes-all Game 3. Clay Miller getting the Cats going with an RBI base hit. City gets on the board first. They lead 1-0. Hayden Goodson adding to that with a base hit of his own. 3-1 Calhoun City through 2 innings. And it'd be all Calhoun City today. They lost Game 1, but in Game 2 and 3, it was all City in this one. Then in the 5th inning, Tashawn Corbett mashes one to deep center field. It would stay inside the yard, but Corbett would turn it into a triple as part of a 5-run inning for Calhoun City. And that would be the difference. For the first time ever, the Calhoun City Wildcats are baseball state champions, defeating Taylorsville in Game 3, 14-4. Here's the champs after the game.
Nobody sees us there on Mother's Day. Nobody sees us there Easter. Nobody sees us when we clinch that we don't take a day off. We practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think when it gets down to crunch time, all that stuff pays off in the end.
It just wakes up a sleeping giant. We always just find a way to come back together and regroup and then find a way to come back out on top.
It's good to see the hard work that we put in at practice every day. It finally paid off. I feel very shocked. Now it's time to celebrate.
That does it for the state championships down in Pearl. 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A having a local team bringing home some hardware. Reporting here inside Dudy Noble Field, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. WCBI News continues right after the break.
May is National Hamburger Month. To celebrate, Amory Main Street hosted Burgers at the Bend today. There was live music, cake, and of course, fresh burgers at Vinegar Bend. At Bill's Hamburgers, the first 90 customers got 90-cent burgers in honor of them being open for 90 years. The 90th customer ate free and also got a t-shirt. Pretty cool there, Jacob.
Yeah, good thing they had it today because it looks like tomorrow's going to be pretty stormy. A few of those could be on the strong side. However, all of that does move out by Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, that sunshine returns and temperatures in the 90s, so it's going to get hot.
It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very hot. Well, we hope everyone has a great night. Enjoy this back here at 10.